it's Brielle again, and you can see that I'm recording in my recording room, so you know that today is going to be a special video. I just kind of wanted to start out this video to let you know that all of this is going to be factual information, unless I tell you that it's my opinion. Now, I can't vouch for the interviews that I'm going to be doing later in this series, but hey guys, editing Brielle, just checking in here. Just letting you guys know that likely the interviews that I talked about probably won't happen, and there is a reason for that, and I will kind of talk about it near the end of the timeline because it kind of coincides with the end of, like, you know, bringing you guys up to date on Danielle's current actions. So I'll talk about that then, but just know that don't be expecting interviews anytime soon, if at all. Not sure yet. Yeah, you'll figure it out. This particular video is the timeline. So this video is going to be talking about basically everything that has happened in the history of Danielle's relationship with the internet and Danielle's relationship with the service dog community. So I kind of wanted to make this video very factual so that you can kind of form an opinion on what you believe. And then you can kind of decide, okay, now we know that this happened and this happened and this happened, and we can kind of make an informed decision on whatever you believe regarding Danielle and Lakota. Just a reminder that I am one person. I have done my most extensive research possible. I have called the ADA helpline. I have talked to Danielle. I've talked to 2 of Danielle's family members. I have spoken with the police in her area. I've spoken with her girlfriend, wife, fiance. I've spoken with some of the people who oppose her in the community. So I have done the best that I can to get all sides of the information. So just to let you know kind of how this video series is going to work, I'm going to try to break it down for you. So let's get started. This is Howls Love, aka Danielle. She has a soft mount taxidermy wolf named Lakota that she puts into a service dog vest and takes her out with her in public. We'll go over the full list of Danielle's disabilities a little bit later, but for now, I kind of just want to go through a timeline of Danielle's that kind of explains where she started in the community and where she has come to now, and kind of the drama that has come up since she joined the community and that has made people not like her so much. So the first event in Danielle's life that is pretty relevant to the whole situation is the passing away of her service dog in training, Blade. Now, Blade was a black and white dog. He was starting out his obedience training and was going to be a service dog for Danielle, but sadly, the day after Christmas of 2015, after he had just turned 2, he bolted out the dog door to chew on the back tires of a UPS truck as it was taking off, because he had a habit of chewing on tires and they hadn't been able to completely train that out of him yet. Of course, he was pulled under the truck, it broke his neck, and he died. So, this has pretty much prevented Danielle from getting a live service dog, not necessarily because she doesn't want one, but because she doesn't want the pain of losing one. So she believes that if she gets one, there's always a possibility, oh, you know, my dog could die, so I don't really want another alive dog. So that brings us to our next event, which is in November of 2018. She received Lakota as a very, very early Christmas present from basically her whole family, but her grandmother and uncle paid for most of Lakota. And they knew what she would be used for when they got her, so they and you can even watch the original video of the box opening on Danielle's channel, where who appears to be her uncle, the man in the video, is talking to someone on the phone, and he audibly says, "You've heard of service animals, right?" And basically he is discussing Lakota to this. You guys might already know this, but Lakota is a 3-year-old Arctic wolf. She was killed by aerial hunting in Alaska, And basically, aerial hunting is where a hunter is flying in an airplane and they shoot down on the wolf. It is actually illegal in the United States. So Danielle likes to think that she was saving Lakota from becoming a coat or a rug, and she believes that Lakota likes this lifestyle more of working for her and of having like an actual purpose, and the fact that her whole body was kept together. Her claws are real, and I believe her nose is also real. Now, to answer the question that I'm sure will be left in the comments if I do not answer it here, Lakota was $1,100. This is all according to the questions that I asked Danielle, and also the taxidermist's website's taxidermy prices. That's not including shipping, which they had to do a lot of that during Lakota's process, but I'm sure that the $1,100 kind of mammoths whatever the shipping costs were. So obviously Danielle was right when she said that Lakota is a lot less expensive than a quote-unquote real service dog, and I agree with that. My service dog, Arlo, he is a lot more expensive, and he is one of the less expensive breeds you can pick for service work. So I'm kind of baffled that people would still suggest that and say that, oh, well, if your parents can buy you an expensive soft mount taxidermy wolf and all of these gear things for it, they should be able to buy you a real dog, right? Well, not necessarily. The price difference between Arlo's puppy cost, like just his adoption fee, not even like AKC registration, or even his microchip transfer, is more than double Lakota's costs. And then we get to the point where I come in. So, this was around the time when I met Danielle. Not this particular video, but in the timeline, this is the next big thing that happened. So when I met her, a lot of things changed. I commented on one of her videos and she messaged me. I originally think that she was thinking that I was angry at her for having Lakota because I had mentioned in the comment that I was a quote-unquote real service dog owner, and I think that she immediately was put off by that. But I tried not to be too confrontational. All I wanted to know was, why are you doing this? And is there anything I can do to help? Because I figured that maybe she didn't know where to get a service dog, she couldn't train one herself, and maybe she needed help finding a program. Now, in the video that I had commented on of hers, she had mentioned that the reason she couldn't get a service dog was because of how expensive it was. So as I talked to her through, there's actually programs that will help you subsidize the cost of a service dog, and they will make it a lot more affordable for people who have disabilities and need a service dog but might not regularly be able to afford a dog, much less all the training for a service dog. But after I had mentioned that, she said, well, we also have 2 other dogs, and they don't really like other dogs. And I was like, okay, well, there are also ways to train those dogs out of that, and I believe that if your disability is really debilitating, there's almost anything that you can do in order to get yourself a service dog, and training your other 2 dogs to be less dog aggressive would be really helpful anyway, even if you don't get a service dog. But I believe that you could definitely train it out of them if you did plan to get an actual service dog. So at that point, she actually told me that the real reason she couldn't get a service dog was that her family was unsupportive of her getting one. So at that point, I kind of dropped the subject because I realized that if she's disabled and she lives with her family, there is no way that she is getting a service dog if they are unsupportive. And I know how she feels because my family isn't exactly supportive of Arlo either, but in the end we did kind of talk about the pros and cons, and I did end up getting Arlo, obviously. So in the end she decided to tell me that that was the main reason, and I kind of dropped the subject at that point. So during the time that this was all happening, she actually also joined a Therian LGBT plus Facebook group and met Ashlin, and they started online dating at that point. And I will warn you guys, I don't have too much information about their relationship just because I do truly believe that most of that should be kept private. And also, I don't really feel comfortable contacting them about anything like that wasn't in the public eye in the first place. So later on in the video, I will be talking about the accusations against Ashlin for being a child predator. Obviously, I'm going to talk about those. However, I will not be talking about anything regarding the allegations around them breaking up and getting back together several times, just because that doesn't seem to be very relevant. Yeah. Around this time as well, a different YouTuber, PawznLove, Jaye, had gone live on YouTube, and basically what had happened was Danielle had joined this live because Danielle is a big fan, or was a big fan of PawznLove, and had asked what Jaye thought about Lakota and Danielle's situation as a whole. And Jaye said, quote, "From what I understand is that it's a stuffed dog and nobody cares." So that's what he said, and I don't know how Danielle took it exactly. I wasn't there. I'm going to look to see if I can find the footage again. I looked once and it was on Danielle's account, and now it no longer is. But basically Jaye was, you know, not really interested in talking about it, but Danielle kept pressuring him, and everyone else in the live kind of turned against Danielle to get her to stop talking about it. This caused Danielle to be pretty upset. She went live on her own account, and a lot of Jaye's followers and subscribers followed her to her account to see what she was doing, and they were very upset with her, and they attacked her on her own live. And in response to everything that had happened that night, Danielle almost attempted suicide. Someone from her live actually contacted the police, and they did a wellness check on her, and they took her in an ambulance with Lakota to the emergency room. She spent the night there, and then in the morning she was released. Shortly after that, she began therapy, which lasted around 2 months, but she hasn't returned since, and basically that night was pretty highly documented by a lot of people, actually, including Danielle herself. But other than what I just told you, not much is actually known about it. A lot of people just said, oh, she had tried to commit suicide. Some people had rumors saying that she had actually passed away. Obviously, that's not true. So basically what was the next biggest thing, which was Dedra starting to go after Danielle. Now, Dedra is one of Jaye or PawznLove's fans. You can see on many of Jaye's videos that Dedra has commented a lot of times, a lot of positive things. So I can see why Dedra would want to go after Danielle, I guess, in this context. And it started kind of normally, where just Dedra was making comments on Danielle's videos and shaming her on there, or on her Instagram, or stuff like that, and making videos talking about her. But it got to a point where she did something that I don't think that would really seem okay. Dedra made a hate account on Instagram that was called Lakota is BS. Basically what it was is it was an account that had a lot of pictures of Danielle, or a lot of pictures of Lakota on it, with rude and nasty captions. Now, this account actually went on for several months, even though a lot of Danielle's supporters actually tried to report the account and tried to get it taken down. It seemed like Instagram just wasn't really seeing it as a hate account for some reason, even though it literally said it was a hate account. But after that, I kind of realized that after maybe, I think, 2 months of the account being up, I was like, yeah, this isn't okay, so I took action. So I called the police. I called them both in Danielle and Dedra's location, and Danielle openly told me where she was located, like the city. But Dedra had to track the IP address that matched both of her accounts, her YouTube and Instagram account, and that's how I found out roughly where she lived, and I was able to call the police in her area.
At that point, we filed a police report regarding the account, since it did talk about, did have threats on the account that Dedra was going to do dangerous things to Danielle, so they were able to file a police report. And I was able to link the IP address from the Lakota is BS account to Dedra's Instagram and her YouTube. All three of the IP addresses were identical, which means that they are in the same location, that the host of the account is in the same location. So basically what that means is that she owned the account, even though she never admitted to it. In public, she did admit to it when the police went to her house and questioned her about it. There is a police report that does have that admittance on it. You can locate it. I'm not going to give out Dedra's town or location or anything, or IP address, because I'm not that kind of person. But if you are interested, you can track the IP address on Dedra's Instagram or her YouTube, and you can find it yourself. Basically, what Dedra admitted to was that she owned the account, but that most of the posts made were not hers. They were sent in by other people and suggested. Obviously, that doesn't make her not guilty. So basically, the police just told her to take down the account and to block Danielle from all of her accounts, and her girlfriend as well, to just keep the two separated. And she was told that if they had another issue with this, then they would have to escalate. Now, something that was happening before, during, and after this whole thing with Dedra, making the account and stuff, was an account that goes by Anonymous. Was on YouTube and had been making videos regarding the issues that were going on with Danielle and Dedra, and I believe with other people and Dedra as well. So Dedra isn't a nobody in the service dog community. She, it looks like, is pretty popular in the fact that she kind of hates on a lot of different people. So I'm going to insert some of those video clips here, just to kind of show you guys that yes, she does, have issues with other people as well. And I'm going to show you the clips that this anonymous YouTube account made. I don't own any of these clips. These are all from YouTube, and you can access them yourself if they're still up at the time of the posting of this video. So, yeah.
Oh, I didn't read the comment before I saw the name, so it's all B-Town Paranormal. But this one right here, Service Dog Sylvia, she's going to join with the pedophiles who are attacking service dog teams. Watch, this is 3 days old. This is a new Dedra Ambrose account, as long as it's not an impersonation account. Boom. Oh, so she has an ex-husband that wants her dead. I want her dead, her ex-husband wants her dead. Meth, right there. So the troll, this United States service member that attacks service dog teams, keeps her own service dog, knows the law when it's her own service dog, doesn't know when it's another disabled person. Well, she got divorced because of problems with meth. That's not well researched, but when I'm talking about the attacks on me, I'm talking about Dedra to me direct. Okay, this is just me finding her. She wasn't attacking there, but what she said conflicted with her attacks on me. It's called troll research, bitch. You gotta stay on top of it.
It has been brought to our attention of online bullying, especially on YouTube. The following channels: Francis Urban Spirit Vlogs, Belinda Ostrom, Mike Earl, and Dedra Ambrose, you have been targeted by Anonymous. If you continue, warnings will turn into actions. You will comply. These channels have not only bullied but have used their online supporters for their own personal gain. They have belittled and verbally abused elderly and disabled individuals. They have manipulated many and received money under false claims of tragic loss. They have lied not only to others but to themselves. This is my game, and in my game, I always win. We are the justice you tried to run from. We are the eyes of the blind, and the voice of the silent. You should have expected us. If you do not comply, the information gathered will be leaked to the darkest parts of the interweb. Do you understand? You will regret, ever, crossing Anonymous. Greetings, I am Anonymous. This video is for Dedra Ambrose. My warning was not taken seriously, so my warnings are now actions. It was brought to my attention that Dedra still continues to bully a member on YouTube with severe mental disabilities. Here you will see her bullying an innocent person who suffers from autism. going as far as to making a fake Instagram in the name of this person just to ridicule their decisions. There are several photos here of Dedra mocking and insulting this person not only for their decisions but for need to be transgender. Dedra has caused this individual deep pain and suffering that led to attempted suicide and self-harm. Now it is time that justice finally is served to this individual. Let's take a look at Dedra. She has no room to bully anyone by her actions. It's time to show her what it's like firsthand to be bullied. You, Dedra Ambrose, are what we sought out to defeat. You bully others for your own gain. Because you are truly miserable on the inside, you bully and talk down to others, not for hate but for your own pain you feel. You attack not just one but many people to enforce your false power you believe you have. You emotionally damage others then play victim to the circumstances you created. You enjoy hurting others, and for that we stand against you. We know everything about you. We have watched everything you have done. You will find no mercy here. You have went as far as to attack many of us, and for that you have made a colossal mistake. Do not test us, Dedra, for you do not know how far we are willing to take this. The bullying will stop. Do you understand? If you do not comply, I fear the worst is yet to come. Goodbye. Greetings world, we are anonymous. This message is directed once again to Dedra Ambrose, or as the Sierra Vista police records better know her as Tanya Duval, a known felon for drugs. As you see, Tanya Duval, you have not accomplished anything, for it is us who have accomplished what we sought out to do. We have taken your seemingly pathetic life and turned it into utter chaos. We have exposed the true you and have everyone turn against you. We have made you live in fear without even touching you. It is us, Tanya Duval, who have won, although this person still continues to bully on her fake Instagram account, but to the help of us we have turned all attention away from it and it is not receiving the attention Tanya Duval wanted. We have won this battle, but the war is far from over, Tanya. There is more to come and we will not rest until you are removed and banned from all social media. We have came this far, Tanya. Do you really want to test how far we are willing to go? We shall find out. Are the justice you tried to run from. If you believe us to be fake, then we will be more than glad to show you otherwise. Above are some images that have been gathered and sent, along with the IP tying Tanya Duval to the fake Instagram. Numbers and addresses have been blurred out due to legal matters. You can lie to others, Tanya Duval, but technology never lies. As for the others involved, it would be very wise to step back. I can assure every one of you this is not a war you want to wage yourself into. Our resources are limitless and we will not hesitate to exhaust every last one of them. Keep in mind, to all involved, every last one of you are being watched. We will be monitoring your online behavior as well as how you treat others. If you do not comply, our warnings will turn into actions. You will regret the day you ever crossed anonymous. Also, if you wish to make this a police matter, please feel free to do so. We have already taken documentation and turned it into each and every one of your local police departments, and I am sure they are awaiting your phone call. Your empty threats mean nothing to us, and we cannot be stopped, for we are not one but many. We are your neighbors, your employers, your co-workers, so forth and so on. We are anonymous, we are legion, we do not forgive, we do not forget, expect us.
So now I'm going to be showing you that made happening in the video that I'm about to show you. There will be comments from Dedra. I believe that they're on Danielle's videos, stuff like that.
But I won't step back. We don't take kindly being under attack. I hear the fear in every word that you say. I love the danger, let the wolves come out to play. I'm not afraid to die.
So, this next section is a video that was made by Dedra and sent to B-Town Paranormal regarding what happened with Danielle earlier that day, I guess.
Okay, this is in response to what B-Town Paranormal did to me today. I had fallen asleep and my fiance had texted her and told her I was sleeping, which I was. And she goes off and tells me that I am banned, and she blocked me, and she lied to you guys. She said that she was not going to block anyone. Well, she did me. All because of me not liking Lakota, the service wolf. That woman is breaking federal law by having that stupid wolf as a service animal. The ADA is very clear. It says the animal or the dog has to be healthy. Dead is not healthy. But yet, I'm the bad person for trying to get her to obey the ADA laws. I'm the bad person that gets shit on because of this bullshit. And B-Town, I don't know if you'll see this or not, but you guys just, I don't know, y'all, you said you don't block anyone, you don't ban anyone from your channel, but yet you did. So you're nothing but liars that can't be trusted. I'm sorry I ever met y'all. I'm having to take my meds and go to bed early because my PTSD is really bad and has been for several days, and I've told you this. But you do this shit to me? No. A friend or even an acquaintance, wannabe friend, doesn't do someone like that. You feel the same way about Lakota and Danielle, what Danielle does. So I don't know what your fucking problem is. But you've proven to me that you can't be trusted. And you can go to hell. Bye.
Okay, y'all. Alright, this section right here is basically just, B-Town Paranormal, disproving that, they had ever blocked or banned Dedra, on their YouTube channel, which she had said in that past video that she was banned from their YouTube channel, which is false. So, this little section is just, B-Town, basically proving that by going through on their channel and showing it. And then they're talking about how Dedra is stalking them and stuff, which doesn't really have anything to do with Danielle in any sense. So I didn't feel like that was my place to comment on it. And I'm also not going to comment on the fact that they said that it was illegal. They're not wrong. It's illegal for someone to have a dog, or an animal that isn't a dog or a miniature horse, or in some places cats. It's illegal for those to be service animals by the ADA. But again, I'm not really making my own opinion on how things should be handled regarding that. I'm just mostly talking about the facts of what actually happened and the timeline of events. So that's all that I'm commenting on in this video. So that's basically it for that section. And then this upcoming section, I'm not really going to comment on much either because it is about her service dog, Snow. Dedra has a service dog, Snow, who is I believe a rescue. And there had been some allegations that Snow wasn't very well trained. But again, that is a bit unrelated to this video. And I don't know if Danielle was ever involved in anything like that, so I don't think that it's... Now, here is where we see evidence of Dedra actually talking to Danielle and Lakota via Danielle's YouTube channel. Most of these comments, you can read them yourself. I'm not going to read them out loud. But basically, they're just, Dedra making comments like everyone else did. But the thing that was a little different is it did seem that Dedra would follow Danielle around across the internet. So she found her on YouTube, she found her on Facebook, she found her on Instagram, and she basically followed her across the internet, trying to, just berate her at every chance that she got. And I don't know Dedra very well, but I do know that in this circumstance, she definitely did not have the right to threaten Danielle. She didn't have the right to do most of the things she did to Danielle. However, I'm not really going to comment on the things that she brought up regarding the ADA or her moral beliefs, because I'm not, I'm not her. So, yeah.
And that was basically all we heard about Dedra, that it was in relation to Danielle and Lakota, but I know that she was involved in other things too. Now next we have a little bit of a community change. So if you guys don't know, Danielle really seemed to like swapping around communities trying to find a place where she belonged. So after all these issues with Lakota, she decided the service dog community wasn't right for her, and she went looking for a new community. So she tried a community called the creepypasta community. Now, creepypastas are essentially internet horror stories passed around on forums and other sites to like scare people. The name creepypasta comes from the word copy pasta, which is an internet slang term for a block of text that gets copied and pasted over and over again from all over the internet. So basically she was in this community for a little bit after she quote-unquote retired Lakota. And the main controversy while she was in this community was that she supposedly took art made by other artists and passed it off on her as her own on Instagram. I have no record of this happening, but it was a pretty big like alleged thing that happened, so I decided that I would mention it, but I don't really have any proof if it did or did not happen. Now we kind of get into the issues that Danielle had with the paranormal community. Lakota wasn't really around for most of this, but Danielle did kind of have some big issues with communities of paranormal, like ghost hunters and demon hunters, stuff like that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. So in the past, it was kind of obvious that she was always really interested in paranormal things. Specifically, she showed interest in the show Supernatural, and she showed an extensive amount of interest in something called devil dogs, which I guess are like ghost demon figures that look like black wolves or black dogs, and they have red eyes, and she has a lot of different videos about them on her channel, and she had done a lot of research, and she had done even like an interview with a couple different paranormal teams, so that was definitely something she showed interest in as well. While she was interested in like the paranormal supernatural scene, she met up with a paranormal team called B-Town Paranormal. It includes 2 different investigators. I think they're also dating, and one of the other reasons that they got along so well is because Sarah, one of the investigators, has a service dog as well, so you know they just kind of clicked. B-Town Paranormal and Danielle had a pretty close connection. They were really good friends up until Sarah got mad at Danielle for something. But they had been really close. They had even supported Danielle against Dedra Ambrose in several videos, even having one called Enough is Enough that they had posted on their channel. And it kind of showed that Danielle was being abused by Dedra, etc. So after that whole thing with B-Town Paranormal, Danielle went to her grandfather's grave on his birthday and used a Ouija board to communicate. She did post that video online. I don't believe that it's accessible anymore, but it didn't really stir up any drama. It just was one of the things she did while she was involved in the paranormal community. Hey guys, editing Brielle here. I just kind of wanted to apologize that this video is going to have to be in multiple parts, probably at least, definitely at least 2, but I'm not really sure how many. And the reasoning for that is because the universe is telling me that that's the best thing. Hi Arlo. It has taken me almost a month to put together what is the video that you just watched, because I had to do all the research. I had to get in contact with different police departments. I was talking to a couple different people who were involved. I spoke with B-Town, I spoke with Dedra, or at least I tried to. I spoke with just a lot of different people who were involved, Danielle and Ashlin included, and Danielle's parents, her family, her guardians. So just in general, this video has taken a lot of my time, and it's a very big file. We are ending on Danielle's brush with the paranormal community, and we will continue very soon, I promise. But this is the end of the first part, so thank you guys so much for watching. And if you guys wanted to make some like reaction videos or something like that, or your opinion on Lakota, and send them to me, I will put them in another video. I'm probably going to make pretty soon regarding like the community's opinion of Lakota, like, because I know what my opinion is, and I know what a couple people that I've spoken to's opinion is, but I don't know everyone's. So I'd love to get some like different opinions on this. I might post in a couple of Facebook groups asking for those sort of things, and I'd probably make those into a bigger video that I'm probably going to post after like the timeline is over. So thank you guys so much for watching again, and I really appreciate the support that I've had throughout making this, because if I didn't have it, I don't think I would have been able to make it, because it's just been a whole lot of work. So I will catch you guys again later in whatever I make next. Bye.